Black Dog Garage Floors, the best flooring choice for your garage. 3/8 inch thick copolymer interlocking textured tiles made in the USA gives your garage that custom look everyone will love, and all for about the same price or less as those pretty paint jobs. Available in a variety of colors and installs in hours, not days. This tough, easy to clean flooring system is resistant to most solvents, battery acid, gas, oil, and moisture, and even if it does get damaged, it's easily repairable by simply replacing a tile. Black Dog Garage Floors. It's not just another pretty paint job.
Well, hello everyone, it's Don once again, and this is Gold Wingnut Live. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully, oh boy, probably the sound is a little too much. I had it turned up a little bit too loud, my apologies. So today, I've got two different sets of microphones, and partway through, we'll swap microphones. You tell me which one sounds better. I've got some wired microphones, as well as my usual set of wireless microphones. All right, so, whoa. So does anybody have any questions? We got 46 people on already. Wow, this is great. So it's been an exciting week, kind of, I guess. I got a phone call yesterday afternoon. I won a cruise, believe it or not. I bought some tickets for the Villages Charter School boosters to win a cruise, and I got the call last night that, hey, I won. So the wife is real happy, I'm happy, and so we'll see how that goes. Just got to figure out when we're going and where we're going and where we're leaving from. All those things matter to my wife, especially. For me, I don't care. I'm just going to drive no matter what. Dave, Sharon, good to see you. Thanks for joining. So if you got a question, feel free to type it in on the screen, or you can call me. My number is right there on the screen, 352-661-6175. You'll be live on the broadcast. Oh boy, here we go. Nice shirt. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, John. Yeah, it was kind of a surprise. I did buy quite a few tickets, so just because I meant to make a donation, and honestly, it slipped my mind. So when I got there, I bought a bunch of tickets, and I happened to win. Let's see. Tammy wants to know, hello, Don. Any more information on any stores or restaurants opening in Middleton soon? Well, the first one that's going to open is going to be Victory Family Sports Grill. When last I talked to Fred Carmapore, which was about 2 weeks ago, he wasn't sure of the exact date. So they're still, we'll see. I know it's soon. He's got his certificate of occupancy. He's got things going in. You know, they got all the drink machines up and running. It's going to be a nice place. It's about 7,000 plus square feet, so it's a good one. Let's see. So what else do we got here? We talked about the restaurants. Lawrence, your new owners in Moultrie Creek. Well, congratulations. Listen to you before purchase and now follow you as new owners. Thanks for the information you show. So Charles took one of my drone classes. Thank you. Appreciate you doing it. Sean, good to see you, my friend. It's been a while. So Sean Williams is the owner of PSL Construction. There's a good possibility, if you own a home in the Villages, that he was the carpenter that did all the framing in that for you. Great guy. Advertised it with me several times too. 2 weeks, mustard seed door announced grand opening. Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that one. Mustard seed decor is got their grand opening coming. So, you know, I'm sure my wife will like it. Rick G says, will the new Walmart have golf cart access? Well, as I said last week, there are two chances. The first one is slim, and the second one is probably none. The problem is getting access, getting across either or both of, what is it, Morse Boulevard or 44. They're both 45-mile-an-hour roads, so therefore you'll either need a tunnel or a bridge because you can't drive a golf cart across it. And then, of course, where are you going to connect to? There's really no place to connect, so I don't see it as feasible at this point. Anything's possible, though. Anything is possible. Are prices dropping in the villages? Good question, Kay. I really don't know. I mean, they don't seem to be faltering any, that's for sure. But I don't think they're dropping. They may, when they get close to closing out a section, they will discount them 3 to 5% just to get them off the books and get them moved. They did this over in Dabney and Lake Denham. They wanted to get out of there, so they'll do that. Let's see. C.K. Murphy says, do you know when the design center in the old Street of Dreams will come to market? There's also a few lots. So yeah, there are 3 lots there. My understanding is about half of them went up for sale, and there was a list, a wait list for them. So they're, some of them are sold. My understanding is also they have a 90-day, or a 60-day close instead of a 30-day close. I think that's just to give the folks in the Street of Dreams more time to clear out and get things cleaned up. Any updates on Eastport restaurants opening? Eastport restaurants aren't going to open. If you've seen the latest Villages update, they're talking about phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 3 is in the fall, and that's when they're talking about, they're talking about some of the things starting to open. So yeah, it's going to be a while. Don wants to know, many on social media complaining about growth and the Board of County Commissioners approving growth. However, I just saw Wildwood approved over 6,000 new homes. Can you discuss what Sumter approves and what Wildwood approves? Well, right now, Sumter County has very little to do with the villages approving it. That's all in the hands of the city of Wildwood because everything is in the city of Wildwood. If it's in unincorporated Sumter County, then it would pass through the Board of County Commissioners. As it stands right now, if you're talking Moultrie Creek, Shallow Creek, or it's not Shallow Creek, that's not a resident, Oak Hollow, Well Point, all that is in the city of Wildwood. It's just like the rest of it will be for the next 20-some years. It's all in the city of Wildwood. So they're the ones that are in control of that. Now there is some, like the proposed low-income or value-priced homes south of Coleman in Coleman Ridge. That falls under the Board of County Commissioners. That we haven't seen anything yet on when those are going to open. And when they do, it's got to be reviewed by the board and a decision will be made, and that's subject to vote, so we're going to be done. All right. Victoria says, holy cow, what a great surprise, you deserve it. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I had just gotten off the phone with a customer, and the phone was ringing, so I said, okay, I didn't know who this guy was, but at least caller ID showed a real name. And he told me, and I was like, excuse me? I didn't believe it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm really excited. Kyle Reed says, hi Don, is there anything happening with the indoor pickleball courts on 466 next to the Hampton? So, I was by there a week or so ago, and it's pretty much a graveyard. Work has stopped on that. My understanding is they're supposedly in bankruptcy. I don't know. But yeah, it's just come to a screeching halt. Let's see. Ian V says, hi Don, Kenneth Blockers, district manager, yep. What does the district manager do? Who hired him? Who does he work for? Who does he report to? How does his job relate to the CDDs? Okay, so the district manager is he has the same job as basically as Bradley Arnold, the county administrator, has for the county, and Jason McHugh in the city of Wildwood, who is the city manager. They are the administrative head for for either Sumter County, Wildwood, or in this case, the villages. The CDDs, so let me back up. So he is in charge of the district staff. The district staff is not a part of any government. It provides services to the CDD governments. He was hired by Village Center Community Development District. Village Center Community Development District is tasked with running pretty much most of the administrative portions of the villages. So, for example, VPSD would report up under Village Center Community Development District. The purchasing department, all the different departments, recreation departments, all those are parts of the district staff. And so, he's got to manage all those. He's got a huge job. There is, I don't know how he keeps his head about him. He does have Carrie Duckett, and Bruce Brown, who are assistant or deputy district manager, something like that. I'm not sure what the difference is between an assistant district manager and a deputy district manager is, but they help him with the day-to-day operations. So all other things like district property management, they fall under the district director. So who does he report to? He reports to each of the CDD staffs, each of the CDD board of supervisors, because each CDD contracts with the district staff to do the administrative functions, which is really a huge cost savings to everybody, because we don't have to have a separate purchasing department or property management or anything like that. So, it's a complex process, but it works very well. All right. Let's see. I hope that answers your questions, Ian. Let's see. John wants to know, will the dog park in Eastport be similar in size to Homestead? Just came back from there with a trip with our pup. Yeah, it looks similar in size. It's kind of two triangular dog parks. They got the big dog park and the a little dog park. Sorry, I love all dogs. Don't get me wrong. Little dogs tend to be yappers and get annoying. So yeah, it appears to be similar size. Most of them are similar in size. I think now when you get to Atlas is huge. Let's see. How is Saint-Tropez, so this is Ron and Karen, how is Saint-Tropez Rec Center coming along? I haven't been down there since January. Love that it's close to Monarch Grove. It's coming along. I'm not sure when they're going to open it. I think they're starting to work interior. I haven't looked at it. I've driven by it. I drive by it probably every other day. But after a while, you get numb to looking at this stuff. But yeah, it's coming along. I know that they got the nets up, I think, in the pickleball courts and stuff. Or maybe it's tennis courts. I don't know. All the courts start to look alike. Let's see. Thank you, Don, former class participant. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it. Mark says, one termite company uses baits they refill yearly. Another termite reps Termites are unusual. Injecting treatment into the slab is good for 7 years. What say you? Bugs are bugs. No, I'm not a huge termite expert. What I do know about termites is they are the largest contributor to methane on the planet because they're on all 6 continents. They're not in Antarctica, but they're on all the rest of the continents. Okay, that's my spiel on termites. So I have the termite baits, traps, the little round things, in the Moultrie Creek house, and at the Hillsborough house, we have the slab treatments, and never seen any termites in Hillsborough. Been there 11 years, almost. Well, April will be 11 years that we own it. Hopefully I won't own it 11 years. You know, okay, I'll say it. It sounds like, hey, let me come out every year and charge you more, and it's a good way to make money. Okay. I like the slab, you know, and my last house down in Haines City and my house in Memphis, well, not Memphis, Bartlett. We had, they would drill holes around the foundation, and they would inject the goo or whatever it was that was in there, and you know, that was it. We had a small termite problem with our house in Memphis at about the 3-year point, and they came out and fixed it. So I do recommend getting a termite contract, though. You know, it is rare, but those little buggers, once they get started, they'll lunch away. The termite contracts generally not just treat, but they also are a kind of insurance. So you know, if you get, when I had my termites, they opened up the wall, they replaced the studs, it was around a window, they did everything, painted and all, and it was all covered. Let's see, Eb says, is your villa listed in the Villages or MLS? What is your listing price? Okay, so right now it is listed with the Villages. Why did I list with the Villages? Easy. They have 70% of the market. I'd rather go after 70% of the customers than 30. It's listed right now at $774,500. I just dropped it $10,000. Beautiful home. We really loved it. Put a pool in. Pool's almost 500 square feet of water. So it's a big pool, hot tub, solar heated as well as gas heat. There's a 200-gallon propane tank buried in the front yard. Rarely used it to heat the hot tub because the solar did a great job, especially in the summertime. But lots of room out on the lanai deck for outside entertaining. So it's a 3-2 courtyard villa. Let's see. Wildwood is exploding with all the Villages' growth. That's why there's a need for a villager for Wildwood mayor. Allow me to suggest Wiley for mayor. Interesting idea. Thank you, VS. No. I'm not going to say it hasn't crossed my mind, okay? I enjoy being a county commissioner, but you know, at this point I would say no. You never know what life will bring you, but you know, who cares? We'll see. Don, with all your YouTubers out there, with all the, I'm going to get this right. I can read. I really can. Don, with all the YouTubers out there, we really appreciate your information. It is very helpful in cutting through the rumors. Thank you. Yeah, it's gotten better. I will tell you this, you know, 5-6 years ago when I was doing this, man, there was people out there making all kinds of crazy things, like, you know, the well that sits there next to the turnpike, just south of Megason, or it's on Megason, just south of Warm Springs, right next to the cell tower and the new Encompass Rehab Hospital. That was a sewage treatment plant. No, it was a 1,000,000-gallon ground-based storage tank and 2 well pumps. Anyway, next time you see Todd Kuhn, give him a wedgie for me. Oh, okay, Sean. I was like, who the heck? I probably won't give him a wedgie, okay? Hey, Don, if you had a licensed golf cart, can you use it on the golf cart to play or multimodal paths? So you're talking about street legal. Yes, you can. If you are using a street legal golf cart can go 25 miles an hour. A non-street legal golf cart can only go 20 miles an hour. So if you put your street legal golf cart on the multimodal paths, you must limit yourself to 20 miles an hour. So yes, you can. You can use them on the golf course. Bill and Barb, one of my neighbors, they had a park car. It was street legal. We used to use it on the golf course all the time. Not a big deal. Congratulations on the girls Wildwood team winning state championship. Really? Well, that's awesome. I hadn't heard that. I like the idea of Wiley. Come on. Hey. No. Sean, no. This governor stuff, no. Yeah. All right. I'll get to that in just a minute. Let's see. Sarah says, Don just wanted to thank you, and we are happy with the quality of videos in our home being built. It's better than getting Amazon packages. That means a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So what Sarah's talking about is I take pictures of people's homes as they're being constructed. That's how I met Sean, in fact. I was out at the homes one day, and he was out there. So Sean runs a big company. He's a great guy. And he's out there in his T-shirt and shorts, framing walls. And I was like, wow, this is the kind of owner of a company that you really want to see that's building your house. I've talked to a lot of the guys over at PSL. They all love working for him. So thank you, Sean, for tuning in. So on the subject of services, and one of the things that's getting me is I'm not getting any younger. This month I will be 64. So yeah. At the end of my term, I'm going to be 67. Hey, that's the time to retire. I had actually thought about retiring at 62, and well, I guess a higher calling to serve the community was there, so I'm sticking it out. And I enjoy what I do, but at this moment, I'm thinking this is going to be my last term, so I can retire at 67. And okay, I'll be honest with you. This county commission job takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of work. It's costing me a lot of money. My business is slowed down a little bit because I can't keep as engaged as I used to, producing my videos and things like that. So that hurts business. And doing my taxes already, I've seen that I've lost more in business revenue than I have made in county commission salary. Sean, no. I think what we have right now for president is quite adequate. Honestly, I kind of look forward to the news now. Because I like watching certain politicians have meltdowns over every time the president does something that's good for the country. Sean says younger than the last two. Yeah, you're right. But I will tell you, most people don't realize how much work is involved. Of course, now, I will say that I'm looking forward to this week because it's the county fair. And one of the things I get to do is I get to go bid on an animal because the county commissioners, we've all chipped in, and we're going to buy an animal from one of the kids, either in 4-H or FFA. I believe they both sell their animals there in the animal show, and it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. My friend and former county commissioner Craig Eastep, he got to do it for 3 years, and he always seemed to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to it also. Let's see. Mark says, have you noticed the street lights on bar are being converted to LED? Seems they remove the glass lenses for this. Mark, I saw that. I was driving through that area and I saw it on Bar Boulevard going all the way up to Eastport. The LEDs shine down and they've got a diffuser that spreads it out on the ground. It's interesting. I've never seen lights like that before. Obviously the big thing with LED lighting is saving energy. Tremendous amount of energy saved just by going to LED lighting. That's why all the traffic lights are LED lights now. If you go down Megason, sometimes you'll see the street lights are purple. They turn purple when the power supply goes bad. And it's kind of strange seeing it. There was a problem with those lights, or should I say the power supplies, when they were installed. They had a high failure rate. So the decision was made that it was a warranty issue. So pretty much most of them have been replaced, but occasionally we have another one go bad, and it's always fun to see because it's like, oh wow, looks like a party. Okay, so I said I had different mics. I'm going to switch mics now. So what I have is where's that? 2 of these mics sitting here on my desk. I'm going to try those to see if they're any better. You all let me know what you think, and whichever one works best, I will go with. All right, so now it should be, okay, there we go. Now we're on the new mics, and I'm hoping that makes a little better sound quality. Let's see, VS says, Don, I 100% agree on the meltdowns. I never in my life watched MSNBC, but now anytime I want to be entertained, I flip to it and watch the total snowflake disintegration. Oh yes, they are definitely disintegrating. They're upset because waste is being found, and they're cutting it out. Holy mackerel! What did that take? Well, it took 2 men who. Okay, so the new mics are better. Well, that's good to know. Okay, because one of the things I did notice is I have to really jack up the volume on them or the gain and the volume on them to, make them work. I don't know why the output is low, but okay. So I'm going to take off these and I'm going to just turn them off. That's one. Yeah, these are really tiny. I'll hold it up to the camera. You can see how tiny it is. That's DJI. It's the same manufacturer that makes my drones. I got 3 sets of their mics. They make 3 different sets. I got all 3 sets. I think they're great. It's louder too. Oh, okay. I was trying to keep the volume the same, but that's okay. Let's see. LD says, I have delivery drivers and contractors routinely use my driveway for turnarounds. How can I get them to use roads and not driveways to turn around? They have chipped the driveway cement several times. Man, I don't know on that one. That's a tough one, LD. You know, UPS, FedEx, Amazon, all the delivery drivers, uh, they, I don't know how you stop it. There's no easy answer. It's funny, I just read something on social media, somebody over in I think they're in Lake Denham area, had a problem with people going around the corner, running over their grass, ruining the grass, so they put some rocks in, and then they rocked it, and it took out the grass. We're just around the edge, and then they put some large rocks on there, and apparently the large rocks got hit a few times. Okay, so it sounds like we have just made the decision, more low end, the new mics. I think more, okay, so the new mics have more low end. I can change that. We can bring up the high, let me see here, select, oh, gotta select. I got all kinds of tweaks on this thing I can do. Let's do that, and we'll do that. And if I touch the mic, I know there's a loud sound. Don't change. But anyway, I guess some people have hit the big rocks and they've made complaints. It's like, I can't believe it, you know. People complain about somebody trying to protect their property. I mean, I get it. It's probably not allowed. And our system is complaint driven for deed compliance. It would be great if they could get ARC to approve it. I don't know. We'll see. But I wish them the best of luck. They got a raw deal. People running over their yard. The folks across the street from the house in Moultrie Creek that we have, they've done the same thing for the exact same reason. Let's see. Dreamcatcher 1982. Multiple cars have been driving over the Brownwood Multimodal Bridge. Are there over the Brownwood Multimodal Bridge? Oh my gosh, that's got to be a challenge. Are there any plans to prevent that from happening? Not sure what can be done to prevent recurring issues. I knew it happened once or twice before. I didn't know it continued to happen. You know, what was it Ron White said? You can't fix stupid. And really, why would you even attempt to go over the bridge? It's like, come on, really, folks? Let's see. Did you see the new Welcome to the Village sign at Central Parkway and Marsh Bend? Central Parkway on Marsh Bend. No, I haven't seen that sign. I'll try and go by it today when I pick Debbie up to go play cards. Victoria says she wants to know when my birthday is. The 19th is my birthday this month. And we're going to do a special for the new home build packages because it is my birthday the whole month of March. For the basic package, I'll take 10% off. And if you get a deluxe package, I'll go even better and I'll take $100 off right off the top. I was just talking with Adam, the guy who works for me, and it's going, you know, we just gotta maintain the business, you know. He does a great job working for me, but gotta pay the man, and not cheap. So anyway, so Sarah says, wait. So Sean, okay, let's see. Sarah says, wait. So Sean may have put up our house. Cool. If you did, thanks. I also prayed for you and your workers for a safe and well-being. Yeah, Sean does great work. I've seen them PSL. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. PSL is plumb, level, and square. If I remember, that's what you told me. Um, and that's he's a carpenter, and that's kind of way too much trouble. All right. So we'll go back to too many toys here. All right. Hopefully that cut the trouble down a little bit. Anyway, better before the tweak. Okay. Got it. Way too loud, scratchy. Okay. Let's see. Mike says, "Hi Don, thank you for your time and all that you do. Do you have any idea on a possible fix for the golf cart crossing at Citrus Gate? It's become quite risky lately to use." So plumb, square, and level. Okay. I know the gate you're talking about. This is the crossing over at whatever that golf course is, right across from Sawgrass Grove. So, in my opinion, the problem is the road, or the gate crosses the golf carts cross too far from the gate, which causes a race condition. Normally they're about 30 feet from the gate, the lift gates, but these are many times that. So the cars haven't fully slowed down for the gate, and they're in a hurry to try and merge. In my opinion, the best solution is to move the golf cart path closer to the gate. There's limitations on moving the gates because of stacking. They didn't want to stack up traffic in the traffic circle. But I will tell you, the county doesn't do golf cart paths or multimodal paths. This is all the way, this goes to CDD 13. You need to talk to your supervisors there, and they're the ones that are going to have to make the decision. Okay. What's your favorite Mardi Gras drink? A hurricane? Mark, this is Florida. Of course it's a hurricane. You know, I'm one of those guys that has a hurricane party when the storms come. I'm part of the problem when the storms come. Why, when you go into Publix and Walmart, all the liquor shelves are empty. You got to stock up. You got to have a hurricane party. No. Anyway, so new mics are way better. Okay, that's good. Plumb, square, and level. I liked it more high end. I framed. Oh, okay. I frame for both Chicolo contractors, and occasionally, if Carter gets a big house, they have us to frame them. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, the way that the contractors work, everybody's specialized in what they do, and Sean's big thing is he frames, and that's tough work, and they don't give him a whole lot of time. Everybody's on a tight schedule, and as soon as he's done, breaks out his phone, punches it in the app, and away you go. Sean, thank you so much, my friend. That was very generous of you. Wow. Let's see. Mic setting is more high end. Okay, well, maybe not so much high end as last time. Well, we can always we'll compromise. Just a little bit of high end. All right. See how that sounds any better. Hiring the natives coming along. Roof almost done. How long do you think the back deck will take? You know, I found that my guessing skills on timelines are off quite a bit lately. It's going to be a couple more months. That's a very difficult build because they are right on the water. They've got a lot more headaches, if you will, to deal with because they're on the water, so they have to be careful of not letting food get in the water or garbage get in the water or grease get in the water. So they've got to go through a bunch more, bunch more hoops. That's part of the reason why it took longer to permit. But it is definitely coming along. So that will be a nice addition to the area. Really close to Brownwood, so I'm curious how that's going to affect the businesses in Brownwood. Let's see. Tammy says, still lots of street lights out in Moultrie Creek, so who in Wildwood can I call to see if they're going to turn them on? It's in Wildwood. I'm not sure who to talk to in there. There's obviously a maintenance department. They're the ones. Don't confuse. I'll tell you, though, you really got to pay attention to these lights because these new ones with the LEDs, it looks like they're out, but look at the ground underneath them and you'll see that it's lit up. So it's interesting. Dreamcatcher says, what major grocery store will be going into downtown Middleton and at what point of land? Okay. I don't know who. I haven't got any confirmation. I got some ideas, but even my call where I said Publix in Eastport, I had an interesting conversation with a good friend of mine who he has connections also, and his connections are saying I'm wrong. We'll see, it just depends. Let's see, sound is perfect now. Okay, that's good. Guys, I'm going to stand up and stretch for a minute. So we're going to hear from our sponsor. Our sponsor for today's show is Black Dog Garage Floors. They do a plastic floor that they put down on your floor. For me, it was the right choice. I own a Honda Goldwing motorcycle. It's about 900 pounds. If I put the side stand down or the center stand down on an epoxy floor, it just peels right up. This does not. It's about 3/8 of an inch thick. Let's hear from them.
Black Dog Garage Floors, the best flooring choice for your garage. 3/8 inch thick copolymer interlocking textured tiles made in the USA gives your garage that custom look everyone will love, and all for about the same price or less as those pretty paint jobs. Available in a variety of colors and installs in hours, not days. This tough, easy to clean flooring system is resistant to most solvents, battery acid, gas, oil, and moisture, and even if it does get damaged, it's easily repairable by simply replacing a tile. Black Dog Garage Floors. It's not just another pretty paint job.
All right, we're back. All right, thanks for sticking around. Again, Black Dog Garage Floors. I just talked to Don today. In fact, he's the owner of Black Dog. He has a great product. What's really cool is it takes just a few hours to put down because it's plastic. The surface actually looks like flattened out Legos. And it does make noise when you walk on it. It's kind of hollow sounding because it's about 3/8 of an inch thick. But it works, and it works well. If a piece of it gets damaged, you can easily replace it. And he does, as you saw in the ad, different patterns in that. Let's see. Kyle says, I was a framer in Marion County with Slim Construction, great trade. I will tell you, these guys in the construction trades here, they work their tails off. They have tight schedules to maintain, and they have very tight quality control to maintain, simply because, the developer is going to hire lots of folks, and if you're not doing a good job, you're not going to work for them. It's that simple. So everybody is having to be on their best, and they do a great job. Construction is not a perfect art form, if you will. Sometimes some mistakes happen, but the warranty department stands behind everything, and they get things taken care of. Let's see. How is Costco coming along? Well, I went by there, was it Friday? Maybe it was Saturday. Debbie and I drove by there. Maybe it was, yeah. I don't remember. We went to Walmart. We went to Fresh Market. Going to Fresh Market it's a trip to the bank for me because I'm taking a trip to the bank to pay for everything because I love the food there, especially their meat department. But I digress. So the first section of wall has gone up. It is the wall for the loading dock, and it looks like they're getting ready to pour the foundations for the freezer units. The freezers have a thicker foundation because of the cold, obviously, and the weight that's going to be in there. So those are looking to be done. They've already poured a bunch of the foundations for the columns that hold the roof up. So it's moving along. Any insights on this is Pluto Ludo says, any insights into the recent revelation of the developer's 16,000 acres south of Middleton? Saw a Papa Pineapple video on it today. So, big deal. They've owned that land for, 5 years? It was a huge ranch that they purchased about 5 years ago. They own all the way down to just about Center Hill. If you know what, let's go over to the webpage and I'll show you where it's at. Okay, so right here, this is Middleton. All right, as you see here on the map, all this dark area down here, this is all owned by the developer, and they're building right about here. So, they've got a lot to go. They've got another 20, 25 years worth of building. And they own all this. There's also some property down here in Mascot, which is in Lake County, that they own. It's about a mile separating these two sections. Will they join them? I think so. This little tail hanging down here is part of the old Renaissance Trail. That was another development. And then if you draw, the county line runs up and down like this kind of triangular section, that's the old Secret Promise property they own. They own this property on this side of the turnpike, that's south of 470. That little square in the middle is the water treatment plant. They own a tremendous amount. And they're doing lots of work. I mean, they keep literally thousands of people employed here in Sumter County and the surrounding counties. All right, we're back to this. All right, let's see. All right. So yeah, I mean, again, they I'm trying to remember the name of the ranch that they bought. But yeah, it's no secret they've had it for years. I don't know why Papa Pineapple is bringing it up now. It's not been a big secret. Hey, we got a call. So let's take this call. Hopefully the system works. Hello, this is Don. Can I help you?
Oh, hey, Don. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. How can I help you today?
Well, I'm wondering about Oak Hollow and the areas there where there are some pretty significant depressions. Now, it's nice that the developer is leaving the trees there and putting in some little nature walking paths. But what about the lots adjacent to that? Does the developer do any kind of geological testing to assure that there aren't void spaces under the ground that could collapse in the future?
So if you look at some of the Google Earth shots, okay, you will see a bunch of white squares or a bunch of white dots on the area. They form a square grid pattern. That is test borings that are done and they're looking for organic material. And obviously, if they come across voids, you know, they'll address them then. So they do that in advance. You know, Florida is a huge limestone peninsula, so it's going to have depressions. It's going to have, oh, excuse me, it's going to have sinkholes. We'll say it out loud. I'm not afraid to say it, the word sinkhole. So they can happen if you're concerned. Obviously, you want to get sinkhole insurance. But you know, if they find something, they address it. Yeah, there was an issue, oh gosh, in Shady Brook? Yeah, I think it was in Shady Brook, where they injected a whole bunch of grout into an area by a couple of lots that had the ground depressions. So they are proactive on looking for them, but you know, they can change. They can happen at the drop of a hat. It seems like it's very hard to tell. I mean, they could use ground penetrating radar, but they would never build anything because it takes so long to take the shots on ground with ground penetrating radar to do the analyzing. And honestly, it's not as big a problem as certain news outlets want you to believe it is. And it's not as big a problem as some folks on social media want you to believe it is. You know, so Florida, as well as most of the rest of the country, has sinkholes. They have them because of limestone formations. You know, when the water level goes up, it erodes the limestone, causes sinkhole formation. If the water level goes down, it creates voids and it collapses, causes sinkhole formation. You know, if the water stays the same, it causes erosion, causes sinkhole formation. It's just part of living here in Florida. It's part of living anywhere, actually. It just gets a lot more press here in Florida. But you know, if you look at a map of Florida and you see a round lake, it's probably a sinkhole. There's a great big sinkhole in South Florida. It's called Lake Okeechobee. You know, they try and preserve a lot of the wetlands area. They have a huge mandate on them from the Southwest Florida Water Management District on preserving wetlands. They have to do mitigation if they want to take over and reclaim some wetlands. They have to preserve more someplace else. It's a complex issue with them, but they stay on top of it. But honestly, I don't see it as a big deal. I honestly don't.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that great explanation. And one last question I
Sure.
had, just out of curiosity, those areas that it looks like actually there's spring water coming in on one of those nice little nature paths that they're putting in around Ocala. Is it by regulation that they're not allowed to fill those in and build houses there, or did this developer actually choose to preserve that?
So if it's a natural spring, I don't believe they're allowed to cap it off, if you will. It would obviously there would be a lot more to the detriment of doing that. Where's the water go if you cap it off? They do make a conscious effort. You know, things have changed a lot in the last decade here in the villages about the way they build. And they are much more conscientious about the wetlands areas and nature areas. I mean, if you go north of 44, if you see green space, it's a golf course most of the time. Or it's a retention pond, or it's a natural lake. You get south of 44, they took a different approach, and they tried to maintain a lot more of the wetlands area. Hogeye Preserve up at Marsh Bend Trail is a prime example. That could have easily just been Hogeye Creek, and they could have put another couple of hundred homes in there, but they didn't. And I attribute that to Mark and Tracy and Jennifer. and their vision for the way things are done. Obviously that comes at a significant cost to them, but I think they're doing the right thing. I think they're making the right decision. But there are a lot of regulations with the wetlands area put on this by the Department of Environmental Protection here in Florida, as well as the water management districts, and they have to abide by all of them.
Well, that's great to hear. Well, thanks again for taking my question. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, that was fun. Okay, get rid of these headphones. Whew. Used to wear those too much in the Navy. Let's see. We got a whole bunch of new questions come up here. Let's see if we can't get up here. So Wiley for mayor. Thanks, Mushki. Let's see. Back up a little bit. For the question earlier about home pricing, the Villages MSA in January, the median home price was up 6% year over year. Total sales down 6% year over year in units. Total dollar sales up 1%. I'm assuming this is MLS. Probably MLS, yeah, because VLS, the Villages isn't required to release their sales figures. They're a privately owned company. They do put out a monthly or quarterly newsletter, and you can see what the sales are. It looks good. Median home price up 6% year over year. Everything's up. Inflation is crazy. I came in late. What's the news? Little this, little that, Mushki. New mics sound much better. Congratulations. Thank you. Someone said their VLS agent said Eastport is getting a fresh market, but I have heard from another source with credible connections to Publix Corp that in fact it will be a Publix. So I have heard Publix also, but man, if it was a fresh market, I'm in trouble because I know my wife will be there every day because she loves the food there. It's great. We could only hope for something as nice as a fresh market. Yes, fresh market is more expensive. And there are things I don't buy there. I generally don't buy their fruits and vegetables there just because they're more expensive. But I love their meat department and I love their bulk bins. Any updates on the construction south of 470 or the strip center sized area just outside the Dabney gate on 470? So Greg R., I don't know anything more. I keep watching it because I'm going into Leesburg a lot these days because of county commission work. So I pass through that area. That strip over there at the Dabney gate, it is slated for commercial, but I have no idea what's going in there, and I'm not seeing anything yet on any kind of permitting. As far as south of 470, about the only thing I know about that is supposedly that's where Station 50 is going. Station 50 is another fire station. It is, yeah. Beyond that, they haven't released anything, and there's no plans on the market yet. It's in the Daily Sun. Okay, Kyle. Come on, what are we talking about here, Kyle? I'm assuming we're talking about Papa Pineapple's proclamation. All I can say is, remember, he's the same guy that says, hey, they're building a tunnel under the turnpike for golf carts. Enough said. Victoria says, we have a sinkhole that just happened on Route 80, a few towns over from where we are. What a mess for traffic. Yeah, Victoria, she's in New Jersey. I can remember, oh gosh, this was about 15 years ago. Middle of winter, had a huge freeze going on when I was living down in Haines City. And in Polk County, they grow a lot of strawberries over, especially in the Plant City area. and the farmers were spraying their fields to keep, for whatever reason, I guess once the strawberries get ice on them, they stop getting colder. I'm not 100% sure, but they were spraying a tremendous amount of water. It caused a sinkhole to open up on US 27. Yes, that's the same 27 that runs through Lady Lake. It runs all the way down to the Miami area. But yeah, just south in the south of Haines City, a big sinkhole opened up. And it happened about an hour after I had just passed over that area coming back from Fort Lauderdale. Let's see, any idea, so this is from Craig. He says, Don, any idea why there are currently no lots for sale on VLS? There were Oak Hollow, Shady Brook, and Well Point, all gone, more than 50 interior lots. So that tells me two things. One, if they just disappeared, that means they've decided to take those off and they're going to build spec homes. That normally happens right before they get ready to release a whole bunch more lots. So I would probably be looking for Tuesday to see a bunch of lots open up in this case. I think Oak Hollow is, but that's my that's my thoughts on what happens there. Okeechobee is not a sinkhole, but it's located in a shallow geological trough. Deep Lake, however, it's a natural sinkhole lake. It is a natural sinkhole lake in Florida. Yeah, I mean, yes, you're right. It's not directly a sinkhole, but it's definitely related. Thanks, Eb. Appreciate that. So where are we at on time? Holy mackerel, it's already 4 o'clock. We got 150 people watching. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. Ghost inventory. You know what, let's take a look at and see what they do have. Let me switch over to the web browser again, and we'll bring up homes, and we'll search homes. Come on. I don't know why this website, sometimes it doesn't come up the first time. And we get to watch the little roundy thing go roundy. And it's still not loading the map. Well, okay. So much for that idea. All right. What's on the grill tonight? Corn on the cob and salmon. My wife has asked me to come over and grill, so I'm not going to pass up salmon and corn on the cob on the grill. We started cooking corn on the cob on the grill about 5 or 6 years ago. And that's it. I don't boil corn on the cob anymore. It tastes much better on the grill. A little butter, a little salt, that's all there is to it. Oh my gosh. So, it's funny, I got some comments, emails and that from folks this past week saying I was some said I was rude, some say I was a jerk, some say I didn't care, I was cold-hearted because of my opinion on some certain issues. For example, the traffic on 44 and Morse Boulevard. At this point, the county's going to have a study done, and that will figure out what needs to be done. But until Walmart's done, it doesn't make any sense to do anything, because we could go in and make some changes now, and it would, even if we wrote the contract today, it would take several months. By that time, Walmart would be done. And what if we got it wrong? What if instead of 1 turn lane, we needed 2 turn lanes? Then we'd be back doing more construction. Now, you take it one step at a time. You have to see what it really is. Let's see. How and how long do you cook corn on the cob on the grill? It takes about 15 minutes on the grill on medium heat. And there are different ways to cook corn on the cob on the grill, Muskie. Myself, I wet it, I wash it, I salt it. I husk it, I wash it, I salt it, and I just put it on the grill like that and turn it every 4 or 5 minutes. You want the nice little black char marks. It's called caramelization. It makes it really, really tasty. VS says, I don't think you're rude, nasty, or whatever. You're straightforward and honest with high level and common. Thank you. I appreciate that. I got to be pragmatic. I got to be just fact based, and we could waste a lot of money doing a lot of things, and then we'd go back and redo it just to get it right. But where are we at on time? So we're about 5 after. It's about time to call it a day. Let's see. We love you, Don. Dinner sounds delicious. And enjoy great. Oh, thank you. And reliable. All right. Thank you very much. So, found something this week, and it really hits home to the way I feel about things. Life is short. Power is fleeting. Physical beauty lasts for a little while. I've seen it in animal. I've seen it in humans. For those who live long enough, will become weak and very vulnerable at some point. So let's be humble. Help the sick, the weak, the vulnerable, and most of all, remember that one day we will all exit the stage. And it's true. Life is very short. What's the good news about you? Oh yeah, I won a cruise. Sean, good comment. Something needs to be done with 301 at the Turnpike. You're right. And there is a plan moving forward to rework the intersection. It's a temporary fix until they get the in place to redo the bridges, because they're going to replace those 2 bridges going over 301. But it's going to be 5 lanes under the bridge. They've got it worked out. The southbound exit is going to be, or the southbound on-ramp is going to be relocated to give it a longer stacking lane. There's going to be, I want to say 4 traffic lights on that section. It looks like a double lane coming off of the northbound side, going north on 301. It's an interesting layout. I'm not sure what the final layout is going to look like, but yes, it's I don't think anybody expected 301 to bloom like it did. I can remember 301 from back in the early 80s. Man, it was rough. It was rough. Occasionally we'd go up that way to go to Gainesville. I had a good friend of mine, Shane Newell was his name, and we used to ride motorcycles, and we'd go up every weekend to his house in Gainesville. And that was one of the ways we'd go. Sometimes we'd go up 27 441. That big massive intersection in Leesburg. I remember where 27 and 441 meet. I remember when that was a stop sign for 2 two-lane roads. And that's the way it was in 1980 when I was going to nuclear power school in Orlando. But yeah. It was, it's changed a lot around here. All right. I agree with VS. You're awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Our family videos, McMurtry Loop light out and yard tagged a week ago. Now a guy can't mow. Any thoughts on what to do? So our family videos, my recommendation is call the city of Wildwood and let them know that you still got a problem. Double diamond intersection. I've heard about those. I've seen them. Those look screwy, but I'm not sure if that's the ultimate plan. But I have heard that bounced around. Okay, folks, it is about 10 minutes after. I want to thank everyone for joining in. We're going to call it a day. We'll do this again next week. I got a live, an on-site broadcast coming up soon. As soon as I get things finalized on that, I will let everybody know. I am looking forward to it. We will have a guest on that day. And, I'm also considering doing some more live broadcasts from different locations. I tried back in September to do a live broadcast and I had a real abysmal failure. It did not work because I went tinkering with the software, but I've got that fixed now. So if you guys have an idea on where you'd like to do a live show, I'll entertain it. We tried at Saluki Rec Center. That's a possibility again. We have live guests. We'll have live microphones, extra cameras, the whole 9 yards. With that being said, again, I encourage you, the expression carpe diem, seize the day. Life is too short. We don't know what tomorrow brings. Every day is a blessing. So enjoy life and go for the gusto. Until next week, thanks everyone, and we'll call it a day.
Black Dog Garage Floors, the best flooring choice for your garage. 3/8 inch thick copolymer interlocking textured tiles made in the USA gives your garage that custom look everyone will love, and all for about the same price or less as those pretty paint jobs. Available in a variety of colors and installs in hours, not days. This tough, easy to clean flooring system is resistant to most solvents, battery acid, gas, oil, and moisture, and even if it does get damaged, it's easily repairable by simply replacing a tile. Black Dog Garage Floors. It's not just another pretty paint job.